Hello friends, my name is Tiwari. I am a student of third year B Farm. Today I am going to speak on the three political ideologies, that is the communism, the capitalism and the socialism. First is the communism, which is followed by China and Russia. So in what is communism according to me, on basis of what I have understood, is that the communism is maximization of production for the profit of the state. But here what is at stake, for the profit of the state, what is at the stake is the freedom of the people. That is, the people living in a communist country do not get the choice of their career, place of work. They can't even travel out of the country without the permission of the state. So they subserve the system and become slave of the state, right? And the state gains profit at the cost of its citizens' freedom. That is communism for me. Then second is the capitalism. In capitalism, the sole goal is to gain the maximization of profit at any cost. It is just the maximization of profit is the sole goal of capitalism. Here it is like the jungle rule, that is the survival of the fittest. Whoever is the fit, whoever can gain maximum profit survives, and rest will perish. So although some may gain a big gain, but others, they are just perished. That's capitalism. So capitalism gives rise to immoralization. That is, in order to maximize profit, there is the moral is lost. The morals are lost. That's the reason that capitalist developed country like USA, there is increasing cases of divorces, broken houses, broken families, social issues, mental health deterioration, and of course the moral values are lost. That's the disadvantages of a capitalist country and the country following capitalism. And the third one comes the socialism. Socialism, according to me, varies from state to state. It creates confusion. The socialism may be of that Hitler's Nazism, then Sweden's democratic socialism, the socialism followed by Indira Gandhi, and so there are varying ideologies in secularism. Not secularism, sorry, in socialism itself. Yeah. So in socialism, I think it gives rise to hypocrisy. It gives space for hypocrisy. Socialism causes confusion. We can take example of Sweden, who follows democratic socialism. In recent times, there has been riots in Sweden. So what happened here is that first there were refugees who were pleading to enter Sweden. There were protests all over the Sweden for accepting the refugees in the Sweden, and as in democratic countries it happens, the refugees were given the entry and were allowed to stay. Eventually, over time, the refugees they got settled over there, and then they showed the intolerant character, because that is what happened is, because someone burned some book, we burned the city. That's what happened there. So eventually what happens is that if such intolerant people do such activities, the tolerant people of the society think that why should we be so tolerant, right? So why should we be so tolerant? So after a certain limit, at the critical point, the tolerant people also break their silence, and which gives rise to riots. So the socialism causes hypocrisy and confusion. Socialist economic plan too is stagnating, according to me, because it helps you to grow at a specific up till a specific rate, but after that it gives stagnation. You cannot grow above that certain rate. During the Indira Gandhi times, the maximum growth rate considered to be achieved and was achieved was 3%, and they said that we would never achieve a growth rate greater than 3%. But after that, the Narasimha Rao government came, the Swadeshi plan was launched, and the market economy was used and applied, that is, which gave a growth rate of 8%, which was the maximum one has ever seen, compared to the Indira Gandhi times, which they called the Hindu rate of growth, the 3% one. So the socialist economic plan is also stagnating. Socialism gives rise to appeasement politics. That appeasement is to give a powerful group something that they want, so that they maintain peace and harmony. Okay, so by now the communism has failed. You can take also the example of Russia, USSR, which broken into many pieces countries, and what is left of the USSR today is only Russia. The capitalism also is not that convincing. The socialism has failed in India. So what, according to me, should be applied is the integral humanism theory given by the great Dr. Deen Dayal Upadhyay. In integral humanism, it is a system where economy is a subsystem of the society and not the sole guiding principle of the society, and no economic policies can be formed without considering the needs of the integral man, considering integral growth of man. There is plurality in life. That is, man is subjected to several contradictions. An economy based on dharma is professed. That is, dharma is not the religion one, but the sense of one's own duty, which will be regulated one, within which man's personality, social interests, freedom, scope are prioritized. In integral humanism, there is also decentralization of power. That is, every small big officer or government bodies have their say. If one says no, then they have to replan and rethink the policy and reconstruct it. That is how India has the biggest problem of corruption. How does the corruption happens? According to me, corruption happens because some biggie thinks today I'll earn some extra cash, and because the small officers or small bodies think why should I complain or resist this, because he thinks there would be some consequences like transfers, no promotions for him, then lack of funds, or he may be suspended from the job. So he thinks, why should I face such consequences? Rather, I can just take a cut from it and earn some money. He will also earn some money, and I live happily, no problem. So what happens here is there is lack of dharma, that is his duty. Education policy in integral humanism is such that a youth having a dharmic conscience is produced, that is, who has a sense of duty and does what is right without considering the consequences he may face. Without dharma, man is just a greedy machine who is entrapped in the materialistic world. So my meremankibaat is that India should adopt the integral humanism by Dr. Deen Dayal Upadhyay and give this boon to the world and show the world how it's done. Thank you.